Today I decided to meditate. And I have not meditated in a little bit. I have little bits and spits. I have little parts in my life where I'll meditate for a little bit and I'll lose it and I'll come back to me, etc. And today I was like, I'm gonna meditate for 15 minutes. And it was so peaceful. I usually do like guided meditations, but this time I did more of a frequency. Just played a YouTube video, I think it was 888 frequency, and just meditated, just sat with my thoughts, calmed my mind down, and it like hit me with an idea that I've had a while back, was about having a unplugged retreat. And what that means is, we are so deeply ingrained with using our devices, phones, laptops, Apple Watches, iPads, TV, etc. And I feel like we've kind of lost touch with reality, with ourselves, with our community, with our friends, etc. And I'm like, I know it's going to make people anxious, really anxious, from even the conversations I just had today at the office, is that if we just did a 3-day retreat, in my mind right now, Red River Gorge, my office has a connection with some people that have like silos, which is like some mind-blowing Airbnb spots. And I'm like, 3 days, you arrive, you obviously have the address to get there, you take your phone, etc. But the second you get there, we either lock up the phones, do whatever. There's one person of contact, which would be, the director, whatever, that if anything happens, family emergency, etc., they can always contact this phone, then we'll orchestrate to reach out to the people. But it's only 3 days, like nothing's bad's gonna happen. And so the whole idea and concept behind it is just get unplugged, get connected with nature, and just get connected with yourself, and just enjoy your time without a device. And so the ideas that kept on hitting my head was like, I have a good friend of mine, Narada, that loves vinyl players. He picks up on Goodwill, fixes them up, he knows all the brands, etc. I have him bring over one of his nicest vinyl players, and have every single person that comes bring their favorite vinyl so they can play it. Just something different about playing a vinyl versus putting your phone on speaker, right? And that was one concept. The other concept was we can have the whole day organized for you, but you pick and choose what you want. This could be from meditations to sound bath to yoga to hiking adventures to kayaking, whatever these experiences are. But you can pick and choose if you want to do it or not. There's zero pressure. You don't have to do anything. But the whole point of it is to be present with yourself. And that to me is so attractive. And it makes people real nervous. The 2 people I talked to about it, they got real nervous about it. But it was like nervousness that they know they should do it. That was the funny part. It was the more of like, we understand, and I think it's strong enough to say it is now an addiction for most. And it's sad to say it's that, but is that? I mean, I have compared, and I had another conversation with a really good friend of mine about this too, about giving a child a phone and device is almost worse than giving them a drug. And everyone's like, oh, they freak out about it. Like, just hold on for a second. Like, just listen to what I'm saying before we rage bait and everything. Is that we are creating the addiction to these devices. And if you don't have them, they're itching. I need this device. It's, to me, kind of scary. And so, you could do this with your family. Honestly, I think it would be a great family event too, where the family, let's create these memories, let's create these games, let's make these friends, etc., to just connect. Like, when's the last time you have gone a whole day, let alone 3 days, without your device? Will life will it burn down? No, it won't. We feel like it is, but it won't. So that was the idea. Was Red River Gorge, super dope Airbnb experience. Have a head chef, have a couple chef friends, head chef, coordinating all the meals. Have people come in and provide their value where they deem fit. So that could be someone's a yoga teacher, someone's it could be a therapist. I don't know. It could be all these different things, head chef, etc. But everyone would bring value to the table. And how peaceful would that be? I go back to when I was a young entrepreneur. I remember listening to a story about Bill Gates. And Bill Gates would go into the woods for a week. No phones, no nothing. He would just brainstorm. I couldn't remember if it was solo or with other people. Again, I would love to do just a mastermind. I'm a huge person of like, how can we make each other's lives better? I'm a huge proponent on that. Like, we can BS and talk all day long, but how can we make our lives even better? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if people even think about that while I'm driving over this bridge. Beautiful sunset. And, just, I don't know. It was an idea that really hit me hard during this meditation. So, I would love to hear from anybody if that has any interest to you. Again, if it makes you nervous, tell me. Does this pique your interest to do it with a friend? Do it with a family member? Do it with someone that you know is completely addicted to their phone? Again, it's not your fault if you are. It gets the best of us. It gets to me. I have problems sometimes because how addicted these things are. And so, how does that feel to just completely unplug? I'll leave you on this concept too. I remember seeing a video, and it still shocks me to this day. It was a person with a mask over their eyes, and what it was like it wasn't like considered eye therapy. It was a concept to where they would have this blindfold, this eye mask on for 3, 5, 7 days, 2 weeks, whatever it is. Think about that for a moment. Now that to me scares me. But anytime something scares you, I think you should take it one step further and investigate on it. Think about it for a second. And so I just want to sit with you on that. And so essentially the whole concept of that is we take advantage of, we take our eyesight for granted. To be able to see, to be able to drive, to see and make these memories, it's all coming from my eyes. So to take that away and be literally fed, and I know the whole procedure after that, but essentially you're just fed throughout the days and you're doing other things during the day, but you can't see. And then the second you take off that eye mask, how much more appreciation do you have for your eyes? I would assume a lot. So, sit with that, comment below, let me know if that has any interest, or I'm just a crazy person. I might be.